gonna sound too much. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about this so that you understand what I'm talking about. Down there we have a plant that grows out in the woods and the fields. Looks something like a turnip green. Everybody calls it poke salad. Poke salad. Used to know a girl lived down there and she'd go out in the evenings and take her a mess of it. Carry it home and cook it for supper. Cause that's about all they had to eat.
The biggie here in the sports bar.
I'm down in Louisiana.
Playing a little poke salad Annie. One tonight always makes me feel like dancing.
Made the alligators look tame.
Poke salad Annie. Doo-doo-doo. All right. Whoops. Okay, there we go. I'm sure the sound will be awful, but we'll cross our fingers. What is it? It's the middle of the night and Tuesday morning, January 19th. And we're here to recap the college basketball for Martin Luther King Day. Got 5 more games for you on Tuesday. Hey, we won again. So let's recap the winning night. Nothing makes me feel like dancing than winning. We started out with a loser there with UConn. Yeah. We read that one wrong. Just read it wrong. Dan Hurley kind of alluded to the fact that he said, well, St. John's, these guys are just going to play, wild pressing basketball. The color announcer, he called it mindless basketball. I think that was Donnie Marshall that said that. Don't jump down my throat, St. John fans. I'm just repeating what Donnie Marshall said. At any rate, they just out-athleted UConn there and upset them outright. UConn definitely missing boat night. I'm not even sure that's how you say it, but he's their NBA guy that's hurt. So, L for us there, that started the night. But, LaSalle there, they came up big for us. Good. One of my subscribers made fun of me because I picked LaSalle, and, well, they lost by 30, so, he had a point. But, now that's 3 times we played them and we won twice. So, yay LaSalle. I still say that Ash Howard's a better coach than Billy Lang. That St. Joe's team just looked like a mess. LaSalle didn't look much better, but there looked to be athleticism on the LaSalle team. I can't say much other than St. Joe looked like they were poorly coached and no athleticism. That's kind of my observation of St. Joe's. And they've got injury issues. I guess their best 2 players are hurt. One played not very well. Anyway, we got the W there, easy win. Florida State, they were much the best. Another easy win. We got that one. It's a beautiful thing when a game pans out exactly the way you envisioned it panning out. And I would say this is one of those that did that, where Florida State jumped all over Louisville, built a huge lead, and then just coasted home. So I think Louisville's going to get better. They have some very talented underclassmen. It's just a little soon for these guys. Florida State, that's a tough veteran team that, they're just good. They're just really good. Hell, one of the announcers said, well, I think you're the best team in the ACC. Very well could be. Very well could be. So easy win there. And then a beautiful thing. I told you try not to get bent out of shape about these could go either way losses. But it sure does make you feel good when some crazy bad beat goes in your favor. when you're done, the game's over, you're toast, and some walk-on who's just out there to, because he's out there, he's kind of like just out there for comic relief. He just decides to crank the ball up with 1 second left from half court and banks in a three to put you in the winning circle. Yeah. Hooray! Yeah, I've had some of those go against me. It's about time we got one on our side of the ledger. So that made us a winner there, as I don't even know the kid's name. He was a walk-on, the announcer said, though. And, well, you make sure you watch Scott Van Pelt's Bad Beats whenever that's on ESPN. That's definitely going to be on there. It says bad beat. Well, I guess it's a bad beat for the guy on the other side of the ledger. But the night, that was not me. So 3 wins, 1 loss, another good night in college basketball. Great! Feeling good. I put this up here. This is my contribution to Martin Luther King Day. I guess a day late. But anyway, it's I'm sure it's more than 1 day. He can run, but he can't hide. I was thinking about that quote the other day when a couple friends of mine were talking about Mike Tyson's quote about everybody has a plan until you get hit in the face. And I thought, well, that's a pretty good quote, but I'm not particularly a Mike Tyson fan. You know, of all the people, you know, Joe Louis was a great American. If you don't know who he was only the greatest, not the greatest, I would say, arguably one of the greatest heavyweight champions in history. He held the belt from, I'm going to say, 1936 to 1948. You know, I'm close on that. I don't have it exact, I don't think, but I'm pretty close. That's a long time. Over 10 years. The African American. And he said this quote when he was going to face a boxer named Billy Conn in 1941. Billy Conn, I think nowadays would qualify as a light heavyweight, you know, weighed in maybe around 185 or something like that. So the sporting press were all worried that Lewis might lose because he wouldn't be able to catch the smaller, faster Billy Conn. And that was Joe Louis's retort to that. He can run, but he can't hide. And that was true, as he ran for 13 rounds, and then in the 13th, Lewis caught him and knocked him out. Lewis, one of the greatest heavyweight champions, African American. Salute, Joe Louis. All right, so let's get to Tuesday's slate of games here. Once again, I figured, well, we're going to stick with what's working. We're just going to go with the TV games and just try to give the people what they want. I know subscriber X, of course, he needs to know his Ohio State. I went back and forth on this one. This one I don't have a real good feel for. Ohio State hosting Purdue. We just went out there, 3 weeks ago and lost to Purdue, who I guess I'm picking Ohio State just because I'm just not sold on Purdue. I don't know why. I guess every time I watch Purdue, I become more of a fan of them. It's like, okay, these guys aren't as bad as I thought they were. They're not bad. They're actually, now they're getting pretty good and da-da-da-da-da. But I'm an Ohio State grad. Forgive me if I use we, even though it has nothing to do with me. I'm not helping the team one way or the other. But Ohio State played those guys without their best player, E.J. Liddell. And he is a big, he plays bigger than he is. That's what they tell me. He certainly, numbers seem to bear it out. He's their best player. And he would guard their best player. I'm drawing a blank. It's a common name. Williamson, something like that. Big center. Liddell would guard him. So I'm thinking his absence was a huge point in that first game where we lost 67-60. So I think just the fact that Liddell's going to play. Ohio State has a couple injuries, but I don't think it's really key players. I think it's guys they can afford to miss. So we're going to go ahead and say Ohio State gets their revenge there tomorrow in Columbus. Lay the 4, take the Buckeyes. 1 star there. Maryland. We're going to go with 2 stars in this one. We like this one. Maryland's just so, but they've got some talent on that team. They do. They've got some athletes. Michigan's been going great guns, and then here this last time out, they went up to Minnesota, and that's like Superman's ice castle up there in Minnesota. Those guys just play like Supermen. Like I said. You get Minnesota out of that ice castle, well, they suck. But up there, they're just unbeatable. So that was Michigan's first loss. I kind of have this theory, I have nothing to back it up with, just a hunch, that a team that has a long winning streak, sort of like Michigan had to start the season. When you take your first loss, you don't really bounce off of that. You just turn right back around and lose again. And I kind of think that's what we're looking at here, is that Michigan's just going to play a soft game here and let Maryland hang around. Maryland played these guys again about 2-3 weeks ago, and they were close. They were actually leading Michigan in the second half. It was nip and tuck there, probably with about 8 minutes to go, and then Michigan just kind of pulled away and won by 11. So I think Maryland knows they can play with these guys, that they're not world beaters, they're not unbeatable. So I think Maryland's going to go in there, play hard, and maybe do like St. John's did here today and just keep it close and maybe steal it at the end. I don't need them to actually steal it. I just need them to lose by less than 10.5 points. So 2 stars on that. We like that game pretty much. SEC. Tennessee going down to Florida. They're 6.5 point favorites. I was looking. This will be my first time with Tennessee. I was looking at that team. They seem to have a pretty nice mix of highly touted freshmen and upperclassmen. They've really been playing pretty well. They have a pretty deep bench. They're going down there playing Florida. And Florida, I think right now is just, they're in flux. They're just, 2 of their best players are hurt. The one kid, he did the Hank Gathers. For you people born, yesterday and don't know what I'm talking about, Hank Gathers dropped dead on the court of a heart-related ailment in 1991. Well, anyway, this kid, boom, down. Now, luckily, he's not dead. I think he just got released from the hospital. So, hopefully he gets better, recovers. Hopefully that's not a chronic issue. Who knows, maybe. Sometimes people just don't know why the body does certain things. At any rate, that I think is just kind of really knocked Florida's season askew. And they have a short bench. They just played, I think, Saturday, and they had 4 different guys get, over 30 minutes. I just kind of think Florida might just wear out in the second half, where Tennessee might just be able to run multiple, 7, 8 guys at them. And their bench, like I said, they when I say they have a deep bench, I mean they have guys that can play on the bench. Every team's got 12 guys, but can you play? So I think Tennessee could have an advantage there if Florida gets in foul trouble or just gets tired. So we're going to lay 6.5. Just think Tennessee is significantly better than Florida. It's the SEC. Nobody plays defense. It's could be a high-scoring game. So, maybe Tennessee, again, it could be one of these deals where they're up a possession or 2 at the end, and then it turns into a foul fest, and 3-point lead turns into an 8-point lead, which would be just fine with us. So lay to 6.5, Tennessee. All right, 9 o'clock. Finally, my guys are back. Villanova. We like Villanova. We're from Philadelphia. The Sports Barn is in the geographic sphere of influence of Philadelphia sports. So we're big J. Wright Villanova fans. So they're laying 9.5. They haven't played in I don't even know when. Seton Hall also coming off a big layoff of probably 2 weeks as well. I hate to do this, but despite the fact that we love us some Jay Wright here in the Sports Barn, we're going to go ahead and take Seton Hall here and take the 9.5 points. I just think the layoff is going to, it's just going to, I think, hurt both teams. It'll be an ugly game. Villanova is an accurate shooting team. I do not expect them to shoot accurately. I don't expect Seton Hall to shoot accurately. I expect this to be just a grinded out slugfest of whoever can rebound and turn the ball over less. And just thinking that kind of a game, Seton Hall, with 9.5 points in their pocket, I think that's where the value is. So Seton Hall here, plus the 9.5. And then lastly, in the SEC, the two probably best teams in the SEC, with the exception of Tennessee, we have Alabama at LSU. LSU's a 1-point favorite. We've been big fans of Alabama. That's been, I guess the genesis of that is the Alabama coach called out Coach Krzyzewski for his hypocrisy on the virus in that, oh my God, we can't play, except, everybody else is playing. But, Duke's worried about playing because they're not very good this year. And I agree 100% with the Alabama coach, so that's why we like him. But he's going in there now. He's been on a roll. LSU's getting hot. They just wiped out Arkansas, and now they're a 1-point favorite. We're going to do this. We're going to jump off. We're going to jump off Alabama. We're going to take LSU there at home. I think one of Alabama's top players is hurt. He got hurt in one of those games. I forget which one. And they haven't missed him yet, but, as you play more and more of these tough teams, I think the good players are going to start to wear out. They're going to be getting too many minutes. I think LSU's just a little deeper. I think this is just a spot for Alabama to take a break. They've been going so well, such great guns, and this strikes me as just one of those spots where it's a bridge too far. It's a bridge too far. It's a movie from 1978 detailing the Market Garden operation in 1944 in World War II in Holland, if you don't know what that is. At any rate, a bridge too far for Alabama tomorrow night down in Baton Rouge. LSU gets the win. So our top plays Maryland. But other than that, we got Ohio State, Tennessee, Seton Hall, and LSU. Okay, that's it. That's all we have for you. Good. The lines are out on the NFL championship games. I guess, what is it? Buffalo, a 3-point underdog. Tampa, a 3.5-point underdog. Interesting. The Buffalo, that number could do, will Mahomes play? Will he not play? I think everybody's expecting the dude to play, because if he doesn't play, then Buffalo should be favored. And it will be, at whatever point that comes out and they say, Mahomes can't play. He's, not going to be ready. That number will swing. Well, they'll take it off the board. It won't swing. They'll just take it down and post it up again at the, Buffalo -3. At any rate, Good, thanks. We appreciate the loyalty. Give us a like. Hey, subscribe if you're passing through for the first time. And we'll try to do the same thing we did tonight. We'll try to win again tomorrow. Thanks. From me to you, good college basketball.